So with that, we have our last expo session today. It is in an AI-centric world. Forewarned is good, but forearmed is better. Presented by John Ayers, VP Offensive Security at Cybercriminals.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. As she said, my name is John Ayers. I'm the Vice President of Offensive Security at Cybercriminals. First of all, let's talk a little bit about who Cybercriminals is. Cybercriminals is a combination of two companies we brought together that focus on cybersecurity response, defense, and response. So the whole goal here is to help around what we consider to be data engineering, detection, response, and making that experience more effective for our clients. Our security operations centers, as you can see, is globally, locally throughout the world. We have in the United States, in Kansas City. We also have in London. We also have some in Arkansas, inside the Bentonville area. But the goal here, what the purpose of this is that we also are global. We also have a SOC that's sitting out in Bangalore, India. And the purpose for that, of us being global, is to do what? Be able to reach anywhere in the world to help our clients manage the risks and the issues that are happening today, which we know are constantly changing. So in the wake of all this, we just kind of touched on the risks, right? The developments that are happening out there today around AI, ChatGPT, things of that nature. Are we prepared for these threats? I mean, think about this for a minute. Hospitals today have adopted AI. You call in and says, hey, I'm your AI health assistant, and you're sharing information around your prescriptions, sharing information around your health environment. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for the information that you are sharing now with AI to be part of the world that you may not know? So when I say this is, did you know, is the fact that all these vulnerabilities and things of that nature are all being flooded into the environments. So Cybercriminals has recently partnered with Google to create this workbench to help gather all this approach around AI, using managed threat intelligence, GitHub repos, MITRE, Atlas frameworks, things of that nature, not MITRE ATT&CK, and really kind of build it out to customers and extend this customized native aspect. Now we're going to dive in a little bit how Cybercriminals is helping our clients leveraging this technology to solve for it, because it's important to know here that, hey, in this world today, it is better to be forewarned, but what if you were armed with the right to do this? So let me ask right now in the crowd, how many of you right now are using ChatGPT? All right. How many of you know that that is an open AI environment that's going out to the cloud today? Everything you do is now lost. That intellectual knowledge of you using ChatGPT has now been, you've given that right up. So when you downloaded that app, you gave up the EULA aspect that says, hey, I can write this stuff and I can say this stuff, and now, hey, it's not mine anymore. If you think you haven't, I suggest you read the EULA. It's important to note that. So every time you do a report for work, every time you write something down, all that information's gone. Now, on that, the challenge is that it happens and causes is so great, right? It's important to note that this piece of this center of here is what's really concerning. It's the adoption. Just listening to you guys saying, hey, I've got it. But are you prepared for it? Are you prepared for the outcome of what the risk is, this tidal wave of information that says, hey, what do I do with it? How do I control it? How do I manage it? Because if you think that it's a cool little tool, the bad guys also think it's a cool little tool. And they're using it day in and day out. So everyone's heard social engineering, they've heard phishing and things of that nature, but do you understand the risks that AI brings? At Black Hat recently, we showed clients the risk. Every time you put a video of yourself through TikTok or whatever, Instagram, Snapchat, on social media, I only need 3 seconds of that information to clone you. And I mean that. We were able to take people information and actually have them and clone them, and they were speaking like Joe Biden, Donald Trump. Just think if somebody took your words and said you were Donald Trump. What if I took the words and the gentleman sitting beside you said the same thing, but it was your words? That's the information that's being stolen, right? And social engineering now has actually gotten better because of it. So we were all taught around security awareness to do what? Look for misspelled words, format, pronunciation, things of that nature. Think about voice cloning right now that AI has done. So when the person calling you on the phone, you think you're talking to somebody from your IT help desk, or the IT help desk thinks they're talking to you to get your password changed. It's not you. But they've got enough information about you to clone you. So let's talk a little bit about the timeline that's happened associated with this. It is one of the fastest growing industries today. It was released in November of 2022. In January 2023, over 100 million users were using this. Think about that for a minute. Now we're at, in April, almost 200 million people using it. The projected revenue with this, by the end of this year, I think is going to exceed $200 million. It will be a $1 billion market by the end of next year. And you're asking, how can it move so fast? Well, today, over here, we have a bunch of people saying, hey, how do I use AI to speed up automation and adoption to help my businesses, like SOCs? Look, I can get rid of tier 1 because I can use AI. And then I got another group over here that says, hey, go do that so that I can take that information and then hack you and use it against you. So you have two different groups here. So the managing of this to help speed up your business is also being R&D'd by the bad guys. And if you don't think so, let me give you an example. You can buy 10 credit cards on the internet today on the darknet for 10 bucks, or 83 cents to 85 cents a piece. And you get better customer service because what's going to happen is if one credit card doesn't work, they will overnight you a new 10-pack at no cost so you can use that same credit cards going forward. That is how fast, faster than your bank can ever do. Your identity used to be about $1,500 on the darknet. It has now gone down to $250. And how long does it take you to get it back? More than $250. It is becoming that way because AI is starting to impact that. So I talked a little bit about some of the metrics that are happening associated with this. So operations, information technology, shadow IT. You guys already said you're using it. Are you stopping it? Can you support it? Can you even know, do you even know that someone is using it on your network today? Do you have alerts that can detect it? Because look, everybody's looking to be faster, more efficient, and AI will help with that. So what is Cybercriminals doing to help manage this risk and help our clients be secure in this AI world? Well, first of all, we start with reducing risk. We want to make security smarter, not harder. We know there's an open ecosystem out there today that we need to focus on the scalable solutions for our clients, but it's also important that we have is a threat-informed defense. What does that mean? What that means is the intelligence. What is out there that we can see today to help inform you of the battleships that may be forming on the horizon associated to that? Which then actually gives you what? Informed controls, validations to alert. This is where we come in with detection and response. The heart of who is Cybercriminals today is this real-time detection and response associated with that. But that's saying one thing. How do you execute it on is another. So let's talk about the execution of this. Our approach to AI starts with the assessment. We want to look at and understand or evaluate your risk. Our job is always about reducing risk. That is our number one focus. Our job then is how do we iterate that to turn it into what? Effective business so that you can thrive associated with that. Now, the pieces start with that assessment. We have to identify the potential risk in your environment because without knowing the risk, we can't solve for the risk. Or I'm not going to say the word solve. I'll say how do we help you reduce that risk? And how do we do that is through what we call adversarial actions. Now, it's a fancy term, but at the end of the day, it's emulating the bad guys. It's through penetration testing, it's through red teaming simulation, it's through social engineering. Because now social engineering has become so good at what it does, because of AI, it is hard now, more than ever, to determine if that phishing email is legit or is it bad. And we know what happens when you click on that link. Once you click, it's over. Right? I mean, they've got you. It's embedded in your environment. You become a botnet or you've installed a ransomware, and now next thing you know, the malware has taken over the environment and everything in the brother is now being compromised. But the prompt engineering piece here is helping our clients understand the language modules. The one thing I will tell you, if you walk away from this conference from anything, and that we're all ignoring right now, is voice. Vishing is becoming the new avenue of social engineering because of AI. We're able to clone you. Think about that for a minute. 3 seconds. Mississippi 1, Mississippi 2, Mississippi 3, boom, I got your voice. That's all I need. And I say we, that's all we need as an adversarial, ethical team, but the bad guys, that's all they need. And anytime you do something on the internet, it's there because you've lost control of it. So think next time when you do a video, when you're out there having fun and partying, you put your voice out there, it's now susceptible to somebody taking that and training tools to be you. So when the next time you call in to say, hey, my password has been changed, and the IT help desk says, well, wait a minute, you just called in 20 minutes ago. Well, wait a minute, that was not me. Well, you did. You gave me all the credentials. You gave me all the pieces, your mother's maiden name, your escape room number, whatever it was. It's there. That is the risk that we have today, and that is the risk that we're trying to help our clients reduce. So our approach to this risk reduction really focuses on 3 things. Advise, plan. We want to help go in there and assess that and advise you to help you understand where you need to go. What's that North Star? Help you design and integrate and deploy a strategy that's really focused on AI, leveraging the Google Workbench. Think about that for a minute. The bench is there for a reason. How do we bring that together? The third and most important is operate, maintain, and enhance. Remember we talked about assessment to thriving. We want our businesses, our clients like yourselves, to thrive in an AI world. We can help you do that. But it starts with understanding how do we advise you? How do we plan? How do we integrate, deploy? How do we then help maintain? Remember, build, operate, and transfer into a repeatable service that can scale for you today. So let's talk a little bit about how we do it. How do we deliver it? Well, it starts with a transformation, and it starts then with strategy, right? And it starts with solutions. One of the things you'll see on the screen today is a lot of great solutions, but it starts here with a strategy. It starts with cloud. It starts with identity management. Remember, I talked about this concern, right, around you speaking out there today and taking that information. And then it also talks about zero trust. We're still in a world today of trust but verify. AI has now turned identity management upside down, because how do I now verify when maybe you spoke and you called in to change something? Or better yet, what if you called your bank and I needed a new credit card? And next thing you know, it says, hey, I already got a new credit card. All that's lost. Think about the scenarios in your mind for a moment. There was a young lady in New York who spoofed her bank, spoofed her parents, spoofed everybody using AI. She thought it was funny. At the time, it probably was. But what she did was actually provide this real-time intelligence that says, we could repeat that over and over again. So let's wrap this up. Let's talk about the managed detection response that says, hey, how do we do this? It all starts with managed detection response around the detection. How can you detect in this AI world? How do I now respond in this AI world? Now, how do I support you through this environment of the AI world? And it's around these key benefits: deployment, disruptive, full visibility. As a CISO, a former CISO myself, one of the things people always ask me, John, what's the first thing you do as a CISO when you get involved? Visibility. If I can't see, I can't help. If I can't see, I can't detect. And if I can't detect, can I respond? The answer is no. So, a little bit of an overview here. Here to help with organizations like yourselves, are here to help you provide the right playbooks, the response associated with that. But again, I need to come back to the assessment. You don't know what you don't know until you actually assess the environment. Do you even have AI running? Can you even tell if AI is running in your environment? Look, one of the things that's out there today is called MITRE Atlas, not MITRE ATT&CK Framework, MITRE Atlas. And Atlas was built and designed around for AI. So don't get them too confused. So let's talk about the pieces and how this all stacks together. Starts with the cloud. Cyderis, Cyderis, Cyderis. Wow, that's a lot of Cyderis. It all starts at the bottom and works its way up. So to wrap this up, our team, you have to ask yourself, why would I want to work with a company like Cyderis? It starts with the experience. It's about who we are, what we do. And it's really around this frontline experience. We were actually one of the first leaders out there in AI. We delivered a service called ACES, which is AI-Centric Security, to actually do something around AI. We actually have demonstrated the risk of AI. Our clients now lean on us as a seasoned experience because we bring that to the table to help our clients understand and emulate in this AI world. Look, don't get me wrong, AI is cool, but you have to manage it to make it reality and useful. Just like anything else we do. Yet another technology that we have to deliver on. So if you want more information about AI, we're right over here in this booth. There's a QR code. Click on that. We've got a lot of information. I'm going to pause here and say thank you and just kind of open it for questions if anybody has any questions around AI. No? You're walking away, but no question? All right, yes, sir. So the question was, hey, in AI and development, what's the threat that we see coming in the future? Well, one of them is here today, social engineering. That is a massive threat. Look, at the end of the day, it's a human element. We can't solve for the human element. People are going to do what people do. We can throw as much training at the end of the day, it's still the human element. The threat, in my opinion, is LLMs. It's the voice. And why? We've toyed with vishing, testing people vishing. There's not a lot of tools today to detect vishing. Everyone knows what vishing is. Vishing is voice phishing, where somebody gets on a call, they're charming their way into your environment, they're trying to reset a password, or send you credentials to get into your environment because they social engineered you on the dark net. There's no real tool to detect that. But we have a free policy that helps you actually, you can download that from our website if you go out to Cyderis, to put a policy in place, and we can help build rules around detecting a change, like MFA fatigue, because they're actually changing it often. We can see that, we can detect that, we can respond to that. So there is that risk there. I think the third and most important one that we're still trying to figure out is intellectual property. We are sharing so much information on social media about what we do day in and day out. We forget that you guys are intellectual property. Your personal life, your information, all of that is going out there. So it's no longer about this thing about what kind of intelligence I have out there. It's around how much data the bad guys can actually glean off of you in the social world. That to me is the biggest risk, is data. How to manage data. And that is, to me, the scariest thing, because all of us right here, right now, are taking pictures, we're Snapchatting, we're Instagramming, we're taking videos, we're talking, we're smiling, and hey, look at where I'm at. And I can find out everything about you in 25 minutes. That's the data. But then how do you turn that into actionable intelligence? Does that help answer your question? Any other questions? Well, I want to thank you again for the opportunity to chat with you guys today. If you have more questions, I'll be over here at our booth, and look forward to maybe chatting with some of you. Thank you.